In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu said he is expecting more members of opposition political parties to join the All Progressives Congress before the 2027 general elections, just as the Progressive Governors Forum and the National Working Committee of the party adopted him as the sole candidate. The move also comes as opposition forces are rumored to be coalescing around a new platform, possibly the African Democratic Congress, prompting the APC to reinforce unity early. It will be recalled that a wave of defections hit some opposition political parties, including the People's Democratic Party, the Labour Party, and the New Nigeria People's Party. To discuss this, we are joined by the convener, PDP Youth Alliance for Good Governance, David Godwin. And of course, we are also joined by a political analyst, Ibrahim Momo. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the news. Ibrahim Momo, are you there? Okay, so let me start.
Yes, I am.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. I'll start with David. Now, the Nigerian president does not seem to have an issue with political defections and a one-party state. But then, looking at his statement and body language, do you have an issue with his position?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear. Good afternoon, everyone, and good afternoon, Nigerians. Of course, it is so easy. The statement by the president saying that he has no issue with people jumping ship. And also, it is good that Nigerians experience a one-party system. I will not blame him because, of course, there is nobody that you put honey in his mouth and he will spit it out. But let me also remind Nigerians that this same person, in the person of Bola Tinubu, some years back, we have it on record when he actually condemned the then ruling party. I'm talking about when Jonathan was president, that he said it is unfortunate that Nigeria is drifting into a one-party system and that people should not move into the PDP as it were then. And so he is also speaking because the situation, the tides or the odds are in his favor today. But having said that, I think it is important that Nigerians know that a one-party system is tantamount to destruction or is akin to a state of totalitarianism in Nigeria. So every 1 million Nigerian and every patriotic Nigerian must begin to condemn those statements of the president. And then I would like to also state that when it comes to discussing very important national issues like this, I don't want to be seen as a PDP member, so it doesn't look like I'm being biased, but we have to say it the way it is. As a true Nigerian, as a patriotic Nigerian, I do not think that the president, whatever he has said, is in good faith. Because for this president that came on board that promises renewed hope, I am sure that majority of Nigerians will agree with me that it has become a renewed hopelessness. For a government that is only looking up to politics, playing politics, and not about good governance. I mean, it is okay for him to say that everybody can, decamp to his party, that the other parties are sinking ship. And let me ask, if the other parties, let's even say the other parties are sinking ship, and who has made those parties a sinking ship? Because this government will not allow opposition to thrive. Because they will not allow opposition to checkmate the government of the day and criticize, give that robust opposition to push the government into good governance. And then so that is the reason why they have made opposition parties to become a shadow of itself.
Okay, let me get Ibrahim's thoughts. I mean, of what good is a one-party state to Nigeria's democracy? Do you think this is actually what Nigerians want?
Well, thank you very much. Let me say that it's one of the hallmarks of democracy is the competitiveness, the fact that there are alternatives, viable, viral alternatives. There are, such that there are competing ideas and ideologies. So the question as to what a one-party state, what value would it bring? I dare say that there's no value. The mere fact that you have a multi-party democracy does not mean that we cannot have a stable ruling party. For example, in the US, both the current president, Donald Trump, the House of Representatives, and of course, Senate are controlled by one party. But there's still a viral opposition, a viable opposition party in the Democratic Party within the US, which is creating alternative ideas. One of the things we learned from the study of El Haji Suharto of Indonesia, and of course Mahathir Mohamad, long-serving president in Indonesia and Malaysia, respectively, is the fact that they always learned. One of the success skills they had was that they were learning from the opposition ideas. When the opposition suggests an alternative ideas, and they quickly adopt those ideas to move statecraft forward. The idea of even the Ministry of Nigerian Affairs, established by the then President Musa Yar'Adua, was an Atiku idea, an opposition idea when Atiku was running a candidate of the ACN. So a viral opposition benefits even the ruling party and, of course, the country at large. But the idea to emasculate, to kill or to brazenly weaken opposition political parties and platforms, it speaks to a much. I don't see any value in it.
Okay.
Rather, I think it speaks to much a serious malaise in our politics. One is the lack of ideology. Today, you cannot even distinguish. There's no contradistinction between the governors of the APC and the governors of the PDP. What is the difference between what was the other difference between what Ovie was going to bring in Delta and what Sheriff Oborowori, Governor Sheriff Oborowori? So you see that there's no ideology, no standpoint, no ideological standpoint, no difference.
Okay.
It's just potpourri, kind of.
All right, David, some people say that is political inclusion, so to speak, whatever it is that means. But then, let's look at it from this angle. 2 years into Tinubu's administration, members of opposition parties are losing their stees and they're endorsing the president. Is it due to good governance or what? Because the president has come out to say that his policies are working. We're seeing stability in FX. The price of petrol is coming down. We're seeing, some sort of investments, FDIs coming in, probably in trickles. I'd like to get your thoughts.
Yeah, but, well, once again, I do not see that as a political inclusion. Rather, just like my brother Ibrahim has said, that is political emasculation. A situation whereby you do not condone dissent. And then when you do not condone dissent, then that means the government of the day stands for nothing, exactly. And then the issue of the president or the All Progressive Party saying that since the 2 years of this administration, that a lot of things, they've achieved a lot of political gains. I'm sorry to say that's just self-deceit. Yes, I must say self-deceit and self-consolation, because you are looking at a situation where the common man wants staple food, and how has that translated into good governance? Okay, you are saying the fuel prices are coming down, but for me, these are laughable, because when you took over as president, fuel was sold for around 240 or 250 naira per se, or thereabout, and then we have a situation where rose to 1,000 naira, and then we now have 910 in the NNPCs, and then 905 naira on the Dangote. How has that compared to what we had in the past that was around 250 naira? These things are just, they are glaring to see. And then it is always easy for politicians, especially those ones in power, to dwell in self-consolation, because as far as they are concerned, they must always bamboozle Nigerians just to appeal to their own ego. And then it is not also true that look at the other day, let's look at what is happening in Borno. The insecurity in Borno is almost like Borno has been taken over by the resurgence of these Boko Haram and terrorists. Look at the killings on the plateau. What has the government of the day done about it? So these people are not even interested in governance. It is all about politics and grabbing power, just like he said, grab power and run away with it. And that's exactly what is playing out.
Okay, so Ibrahim, now, is there a perceived formidable threat in the north or from other camps or other opposition parties? Because some people are saying that people are rallying support from the southwest and other areas for the president because there is a threat from other camps or other areas that we are not seeing. I don't know what you are seeing.
Okay, well, the kind of peculiar politics of the ruling party, which is totalitarian in nature, is providing the elixir for previously candidates who were, or politicians who were previously daggers drawn to coalesce And it's interesting that we are not going to see, rather than a multi-party system, we are turning back to a two-party system, two-party state, where we are seeing that leaders from different political persuasion, Peter Obi, last time I checked was Labour, Atiku Abubakar, the president candidate of the PDP, Rauf Aregbesola, who was a minister for 8 years under the APC, former Governor Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, from, of course, up until recently, the APC and the NSDP. We have seen a coalition of opposition figures, coming together, and that spells a serious challenge, whether the APC sees or not, for the APC. It's a serious challenge. So the peculiar kind of politics the APC, with all due respect, is playing today, is helping to galvanize a coalition, a formidable coalition within the opposition figures. And if you remember, if you pivot back to 2014, the PDP was in power, but it all began with people leaving it, even as a ruling party, and then the rest is history. 5 governors, Atiku Abubakar, Bukola Saraki, and some other figures left the PDP at once and merged with the fledgling APC, and the rest is history.
Okay, so I think we just lost communication with Brian Momo there, but then thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, including David Godwin. It was nice having you share your ideas with us. So